Hey everybody, and welcome back to Autumn Leigh at Home. Today it is time for a Sam's haul again, and my first stop is to get gas. This is one of the ways that I am able to save a lot of money. We frequently pass by a Sam's Club in our routine, and so for us this saves money. I know if you have to drive a long way it may not save as much, but because we routinely are coming by here and I drive a lot, this is a way that we are able to, because you are able to usually get gas here for 20 or 30 cents cheaper than at a typical gas station. I know I checked at the recent QT that we just passed, and QT is a popular gas station that's in our area, and their gas was $3.35 per gallon. Here, I believe, I'm about to find out, but usually it's 20 to 30 cents cheaper than what you would typically pay at a gas station. So this is one of my first stops that I'm able to make and add that to my list of ways of saving money and using Sam's Club to do it. One of the only stinky parts about this is that it typically has a line. So today I was actually able to get, I think it was 40 cents off per gallon, which was fantastic because normally it's only 20 to 30 cents. So today was 40 cents, which is even better. We made it to Sam's Club and I have my list. It's on my phone, so I don't have it on paper this time, but I do have my list, and we are going to go in and get a few things that you have seen before, as well as some new stuff that we want to try and see how we like it. Not only did I look out for my gas being 40 cents cheaper than the gas station gas, a lot of the items on my list today were actually on sale, which is a total bonus, and I was excited about that. If you are somebody who loves coming to Sam's Club to either eat in the cafe or even get the free samples, give me a thumbs up down below, because who can go to Sam's Club and not get at least one free sample? They are fantastic. I always feel so weird filming my video footage in the store because I try to do it when people aren't looking, and you may not get clips of everything that I got today, but that is totally fine because I will fully explain everything at the end when I'm going through at home what we bought and why we bought it, what we use it for, all of the above. When I go shopping to Sam's Club or even Aldi, I usually try to stick to a list, and today is no exception. I had my list and I was very diligent about trying to stick to it. Now, if there was something that I knew that we would be running out of soon and I saw that it was on sale today, I just went ahead and got it, because that is worth it to me to break from the list to get it while it's on sale, and that way you save that extra money. Typically on a weekly average, our budget for grocery shopping is $125, and we do not eat out very often at all. Our family, we try to stick to the budget very diligently because we are trying to save. My husband and I try to eat out just as us two on a date night once a month, as well as our family together as a family group go out as a family to eat once a month as well. Other than that, all of our meals, all of our snacks, everything is eaten at home, and I usually try to stick to a budget of grocery shopping for about $125 a week. And with inflation, I will say we may be needing to start looking at that again and see if we need to increase it. My Aldi runs and my Aldi budget for the weekly grocery trip I'm still able to stay within budget for that one. However, for the Sam's trip, that one just seems to have exploded. In the past, before COVID, I was able to spend maybe $250 every 2 to 3 months and get all the things that we needed. Now, post-COVID, which I know all of you are probably feeling the exact same way, and if you are and you know the difference, put it down below with how much you were spending before and after. With that being said, I used to include the $250 into our weekly budget. So instead of spending a full $250, I would maybe spend $100 every week and use the other $50 to put towards the Sam's Club trip. Now that it's $450, sometimes more than that, it's harder to do that. Sometimes I even take a week and I'll just eat from our pantry, or I'll make meals from our pantry and pantry shop instead, and that helps cut back on that as well. So that will give me that extra $125 to put towards it every once in a while. I am all finished for today, and it was definitely a lot busier than it normally is, just because this is the week of the 4th and we get to celebrate Independence Day this week, which is exciting and wonderful. And so I definitely say that even though it was a middle of the day business day, it was a lot busier than it typically is. You saw the lines that I showed you of that video footage, and the lines were, you know, wrapped around the building, which is not typically like that this time of day. Normally I would expect to see that on the weekends, but not during the work week. So, but it's for good reason, because we get to celebrate the Independence Day and celebrate 4th of July with friends and family and our freedom, which we're very thankful for and very blessed to have. So next time you see me, I'm about to go get my hair cut, and next time you see me, I will have just had my hair cut, and I will go over all of the stuff that we got and why we got it. Just got home and unloaded all of the Sam stuff. Now I'm on my way to get a haircut. Once I get a haircut, I will show you all that we bought and we'll go over everything. But until then, I will see you guys later. Got my hair done and I am back. I have everything unloaded. It is the evening. My kids are in bed, but I have it all here. Here is our grocery haul from Sam's Club, pretty large haul for today. We normally go to Sam's Club about every 2 to 3 months. I believe it's been around that 2.5 months or so. So we'll go ahead and get started. I know in the past, we used to do Bounty. We started doing Members Mark paper towels, and we like the kind that, I don't know if you, oh, here it shows right here, kind of. The kind that has the smaller ones, because when we do the squares, it just, like the big squares, we waste so much. So the reason that we do this one is because we love the smaller squares, and that's the orange pack. They do have the big large squares if that's your favorite. They have it in the blue pack, but this is the Members Mark version of paper towels, and we like it just as much as Bounty. We haven't had any issues. You get way more bang for your buck, so that's totally worth it. I also wanted to go ahead and mention that in the past we did a Members Mark. We switched from Hefty brand to Members Mark trash bags, and I have to say, I love them so much more than the Hefty brand. I thought for sure that Hefty, because it being such a great brand name and so publicized, that it would be the better option. But every single time we took them out of the trash bin, they ripped. Every time. The Members Mark trash bags, we still have yet to have one rip on us. So they are definitely by far better, even though it's a lesser brand name. So by all means, if you have other options of Members Mark or other items that you get from Sam's, put them in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up, and that way we can share with each other what works, what doesn't work. I will say we are still, as you can tell over here, Charmin snobs. I haven't tried the Members Mark toilet paper yet. If you have and you know that there's one that's similar to Charmin, let me know. I may try it. We will see, but I do like our Charmin, so we have stuck to that one. Moving on, cereal is something that we always love to get from Sam's. This box right here, you get 2 bags in this box, and it was only $5 and something. So definitely by far a much better deal than getting it from the grocery store. This one was a little over $7, and that's still cheaper than if you were to buy 2 bags from the grocery store, so that's still worth it. This was on sale today. We like our Heinz ketchup. However, I love the Aldi brand ketchup too. It's just whatever is a better deal. And today I happened to be going to Sam's, so I got 3 more because we were completely out of ketchup, and we love ketchup in this family. So I went ahead and got that. Then one of the other things that we are a brand name snob of is Kerrygold. We love our Kerrygold. It is grass-fed butter. It has all kinds of nutrients in it for you that are good if you are going to use butter. Obviously, butter is very fattening, but if you're going to use butter, then this is a very healthy option that gives you all those grass-fed, cow-fed, or cow grass-fed nutrients that are good for your body. And then this I got because I am hosting a party soon, and I really was meaning to get regular boiled peanuts. So this is why I got this big one. We tend to go through a lot of boiled peanuts at our parties. I did not mean to grab Cajun. I got distracted when I got the Cajun ones. I love Cajun boiled peanuts, and I will totally eat these, but I have others that won't like it so much. So I need to try to find another regular boiled peanut for the party. This is our chicken as well as our ground beef. I did compare prices from Aldi to Sam's Club, and let me check because I want to say the Sam's Club one was, I think, yep, $2.68 per pound. And the one at Aldi, I believe, was $3 and something. I'll put it on this clip so that you can see it right here at the bottom. And that way you can compare as well. It's just whatever happens to be cheapest. And this time around, it was by far cheaper to buy it from Sam's. Ground beef, I am just so blown away at how expensive it is right now. So typically I like to get 2 tubes of 10 pounds of ground beef and then slice it. And in the past, I used a food saver with the food saver bags, and I loved it for extended storage. Lately, we have been going through this because we've been cooking so much at home lately that we go through it so fast, it's almost not worth pulling that whole food saver machine out, doing all the bags, the whole process. We go through it so fast that I almost find it more simple and easier to just do freezer gallon size bags and separate it that way. If you do something at home that works for you, put it in the comments below. That way we can share what works for us. Because we're going through meat so quickly and cooking so much at home, I got 2 packs of chicken breasts. However, we will go through this probably before we even go back to Sam's. And same thing with the ground beef. I have a little bit of ground beef that I had gotten because I made a special trip to a grocery store and got some that was on sale. So I have a little bit left over. So I didn't get 2 pound or 2 10-pound tubes of it, but I did go ahead, and you can see the price right there for per pound. And $4.28. I think that's still cheaper than if I had gotten it at Aldi. This right here, the Alaskan salmon, it's a Members Mark salmon, and it's packaged, I believe it's packaged separately. I need to check, but I want to say, and this is something that I used to eat years ago, and I don't know if it was Members Mark brand or a different brand, but I want to try this one again, and my husband wanted to try it because we are trying to meal prep, but we want to try to kind of change it up every once in a while, and this was just a really good option that we could do. It has a lot of seasonings on it. I don't know if you can see all of those seasonings right there, and that way we can maybe put it in the oven, cook it in the oven, and then throw it on a salad or, something like that, put sides with it, sides of vegetables. But we're trying to meal prep more, and this was just a new option for us to try that we had never really tried recently. And again, I used to eat blackened salmon from Sam's growing up, but I can't remember if it was this brand or a totally different brand. So we're going to try this, see if we like it, and if we don't, we'll try something different next time. I am completely out of all-purpose flour, so I bought this, but I am going to try to stick it in the freezer for 3 or so days to try to kill any eggs or bugs or anything that may be in it, any weevils. If you put it in the freezer for 3 days, then you kill anything that's living inside of it, and then you don't have to worry about it. If I were to put it in my 5-gallon bucket, it stores great for, at least a year, if not more. And that way we still are able to use it and use it for long term rather than, because obviously I do go through a lot of flour, but I don't, this is a 25-pound bag. I don't believe I'm going to go through quite this much flour between now and the next Sam's trip. Usually this will last me about 6 months or so-ish, give or take, depending on how much I'm baking. But it is good to note that a 25-pound bag of flour fits great in a 5-gallon bucket, food saver bucket. This is our canola oil right here. I opened up something that I love to do in my pantry is that I keep one and I have one open. So with that being said, these come in a 2-pack, so it's kind of hard to you can't really buy one at Sam's of canola oil at least. So what I do is, now that recently I opened my last canola oil that was on my shelf in my pantry, and when I had bought 2, I opened my last one. So that meant to me I needed to put it on my Sam's list, and I needed to go ahead and restock the oil for this. And so now I have 2 with 1 open. Once I use up that next one, I will open this one. Once I use this one up, I will open this one. After I open my last one, I will then put it on my list. So instead of completely running out, I will be able to go ahead and buy it. And that way I never run out of the ingredients that I need. So it's similar with other ingredients like syrups. Here you see my canola oil, something that I love to do with my oils and my baking goods, or even ketchup, things that I frequently use, ingredients that I frequently use for cooking. I like to keep one on the shelf and one open. So that way, when I know that I have used the one that's open and I bring the one off the shelf, I know that I need to put it on my list of things that I need to get next time I go to the store, whether it's that week or the next Sam's trip or anything like that. I know I'm gonna be running out of it once this one's over. And that way I never run out of anything. So it's a great method. I would encourage you guys to use that as well. It helps me to not be in the middle of cooking, run out of a bottle of something or be running low, and then need to not be able to finish my meal or baking my meal because I ran out of something in the middle of it. Now, that's a method that works for me. I know it may not work for everybody, but keep it in mind because it's something that could do really well for you. So I keep one on my shelf that's unopened, one in the pantry that is open. And once the one that is open runs out, I bring forward the other one, start using that one, put it on my list. And before that one runs out, I will have already bought it and replaced the one that was opened. So it's a great method. Totally would recommend that. But this is canola oil. I had already opened my previous one, my last bottle, so it comes in packs of 2. Otherwise, I would have just bought one. But this will last us for a while, and it doesn't go bad for a long time. So that's something that we went ahead, it was time for. Next up are pull-ups. That's kind of a given. That one's kind of self-explanatory. I have a toddler, she wears pull-ups. There you go. And then as far as paper plates, that is a gift to myself that I cook so much from scratch. And I can tell you the dishes drive me nuts. So you are not alone. If you cook from scratch, that is just one of those things that you can't always get around. There are methods that you can use, like Becky from Maker Homestead. She does a great job of teaching you to utilize what you've already have so that you don't dirty up more dishes. So like if you're in the middle of cooking something, try to find ways that you don't have to pull out more dishes to continue cooking. Or if you're cooking, cook more than one meal at one time, and that way you have one for dinner that night and then you can put one in the freezer. And so you're not dirtying up dishes 2 days in a row or 2 different days, you're just dirtying up dishes that one day, which is great idea, and I would totally recommend it. I have been trying to do that myself. Now that we recently got a freezer, we were gifted that for Christmas, it's been fantastic because we are able to load it up with meals or meal prep or do all those different things, whether it's for breakfast, lunch, dinner, any of the above. Breads, I've done a meal prep bread day before. It's been fantastic. However, for a long time, I did not have an extra large freezer. I just had my freezer here in the kitchen. And when you have that, you don't have all the meal prep space. So if you even do just a dinner plus one, so making 2 dinners at the same time, eat one that night and then put one in the freezer, that's a way that you would still get a couple of extra meals for a busy day or a crazy week or a crazy night that you would have. So totally would recommend that as well. So paper plates, I got sidetracked. Paper plates are great for that reason, and the fact that it's a gift to myself. It's less dishes that I have to clean every once in a while. Do we use them every day? No, but we do use them pretty often. Now, oatmeal, I have yet to find a homemade version. Somebody commented on one of my peach canning videos recently that they made powdered peach, like powdered peaches, like turn peaches into powder. And I really want to learn how to do that because that could create a way for me to make peach oatmeal and still get that wonderful flavor as well as other things. So hopefully she comments back because I want to learn that. But oatmeal is a given. We love all of these flavors, so they get eaten. Olive oil, same thing as the canola oil. I do the exact same thing. I opened my last thing of olive oil, so I put it on my list and now I get it. Now, depending on what you are using and what you use the olive oil for the most, I use it most for in recipes or cooking, so you don't really have the olive oil taste. It's just healthier to cook with all the time or more often than canola oil or vegetable oil. The olive oil, if you're wanting to taste it, so like say you're making a vinaigrette or you're making basil, like using basil and making pesto, which I would like to do, but my basil plants are not producing as much as I had hoped at this point. So we have yet to be able to do that. If you were doing something like that, you would want the extra virgin the extra virgin olive oil that's a little bit more strong of a flavor. We use this one just for baking, so I got the less extra. I just got the normal olive oil, which works great for us. Tide Pods. My arm was getting tired. Tide Pods, they didn't have these the last 2 times I went to Sam's, and so I was kind of getting a little concerned that they no longer carried them. However, thankfully they had them this time. The reason I like Tide Pods more is because when you use the liquid, there's a little cup that comes with it, and I just have yet to find a good spot to put that where it doesn't put a grimy layer on my counter or whatever it may be. So the liquid is not my favorite because it's just messier. Plus, the biggest reason I like the Tide Pods is that my washer is on a second floor. And so with growing boys and children, it's so much easier to say only limit of 2 2 Gain Pods per wash or per load, because that way they don't overflow or try to flood our washing machine. So that's one of the reasons why we like the Tide Pods. They're just a lot simpler, so that's something that we go for. I will say I have liked the powder. I used Gain powder in the past, and I like that a little bit more than the liquid, but if you're not careful, it can clump up on your clothes, and like say it gets trapped in a different layer of your clothing, it can clump up and not fully dissolve in the wash. So it would just leave like clumps and you have to wash it again. That's not very often, but with the Gain powder, but it does do that. So it's something to consider. We are out of mac and cheese, and we go through a lot of mac and cheese. This is something that I'm able to put vegetables in. So we use it as like a lunch sometimes, and I just find, you know, this flavor, and this is kind of a childhood memory, I guess, or simple. I don't always make my own macaroni and cheese from scratch. So this is kind of an easy go-to, but I am able to hide vegetables. Like squash is something that you can easily hide in macaroni and cheese, and they will never even know that they're eating it because it's the same color. Once you mix it in, say you boil it or roast it or anything like that, and you puree it or blend it, then it ends up being the same color and same texture as the mac and cheese. So you would just use a little less milk, because that way it's not so runny and liquidy, but that's one of the ways we do that. I also roast broccoli sometimes, or if we have leftover broccoli, I will kind of cut it up or put it in chunks depending on the day, and put it in the macaroni and cheese as well. And that way with every bite, they are able to get a little bit of broccoli and they don't really mind it as much. But that's what we do with that. That's why I get such a big box of macaroni and cheese. Now, these are ones that I did I don't think it was last time. I think it was maybe the time before last. I ended up loving this one. This one I had never tried before. It's the hair, skin, and nails. And I definitely, surprisingly, noticed a difference with my hair. It got a little bit thicker. And I don't know if it was between this or I also changed my shampoo, so maybe a little bit of both. But because of that, I'm going to continue taking it. And then this one, my kids absolutely love this vitamin. So I know gummies are not the best option for vitamins, but for now, this will do. And then just your standard Dawn soap. We go through a lot of that because, like I said, dishes galore. We go through a lot of dishes, so we need a lot of Dawn soap. And then, of course, our tried and true Charmin. But that is ultimately our entire stock here. We had a good run today. This ended up being about $473, I believe. I will show you the receipt for that. But overall, this is a pretty standard trip for us. We got a lot of the similar things that I've gotten in the past, plus some new ones. If there's any member mark options that you guys use that you love, by all means, comment below. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here today at Autumn Leigh at Home. Please like, subscribe, and share down below, and I hope to see you guys next time.